On Wednesday, September 5th, 2018, in this meeting, the Civil Service Commission is hereby called to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman?
Present.
Vice Chairman Koss?
Present.
Chairman Rivka?
Present. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Please read agenda number 3 into the record.
Approval of the motion summary for the meeting held June 6, 2018, as recorded and transcribed.
Okay, you haven't read the motion in advance. Does any commission member wish to initiate any further discussion? If not, do I hear a move to accept and approve the subject motion summary as recorded and transcribed?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a move by Mr. Koss, second by Mr. Hickman. No further discussion, I believe. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Koss?
Yes.
Chairman Rivka?
Yes. Okay, the motion carries. Please read agenda item number 4 into the record.
Update of the police officer certified list.
Okay. I yield the floor to Chief Pajanowski.
Thank you, Chairman Ripka and members of the Civil Service Commission. For consideration is an update to the police officer certified list. We just went through a process of the PT testing and interviews. So what you have before you is the current list. I know that's gone through several iterations here as we realized certain movements had to happen, but what I'll draw your attention to is the hired, removed, disqualified list. Tristan Carries was a candidate from our last round of interviews that we're able to get through the process, and he has received a conditional offer as of this week. So he is moving off the list onto the hired list. And then the other 3 names, Michael Balestrea, Christian Howard, and Isaac Altenberger, we realized with the hire of Tristan Carries, that constituted their 3rd passover, which moves them off of the list onto the disqualified list. The other names you'll see on the top, everyone added to list are the newly tested candidates and are now on the list for 1 year from today's date.
Okay, that's good. Good, healthy list. You got 20 members out there. Under the new hire, when it says conditional offer, what does that exactly mean?
When they get their conditional offer, they still have steps in the process to go through. So I actually have the process. They still have to do some of the medical testing, which they have to be employees. So they get the conditional offer. So they do the psychological, the medical, the drug screen, and the polygraph. And once they complete all that and report on their first day of duty, then their conditional becomes final.
So all of our work is done. The burden is on them to go ahead and finish and punch all the tickets back to.
Correct. Now with him, he is actually still a college student, so we know that the academy doesn't start till December, but we want to get him on board. We've actually been working with him for some time now. We've had him come in, do ride-alongs, because we knew he wanted to return to school in the fall, so we kind of reached an agreement with him that we would start pursuing him in the fall. So that's where we ended up with his commitment. He's a football player at Ohio Dominican, a captain, very well respected. So we got him on board slowly, kind of kept him in touch, and we're able to get a really qualified candidate that otherwise we probably would have lost.
That's good news. That's good news. So I went back to the list that we had back in, I think it was June, and candidate David Furman, did he retest?
Yeah, he retested.
His scores just bumped up like 10 points.
Well, he retested, and he also went out and received his OPATA certification, which got him additional points as well. So that's his certified status. So he's not working for anyone, but he is certified.
Okay. But he got the 2 points for certified.
Correct.
Right?
Once he proved that he's capable of getting his certification, once he gets a commission, he gets those 2 points.
Right. So he kind of raised his scores across the board and just went to the top of the list. So
yes,
that's pretty commendable. And you don't have a lot of vacancies either. You have like 1 or 2.
With the one we just filled, I have 2 now.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in pretty good shape. Okay. One last question, if I may. I guess it was in early May we were doing an event downtown, and I met Officer Christian Williams, and we just hired him in May. And then I noticed that maybe he's not here. Did he leave in June?
Yes, he did, rather abruptly, quite honestly. He was... we knew hiring him that he was an ROTC candidate from Wright State, and we didn't have an issue with that at all. We actually support military members that want to serve with us. So we brought him in, we did his background, and throughout the whole process, he was looking at, going to officers candidate or his officer's school, but, he told us he could delay that until he got his basic training in. So we had him signed up to go to the basic academy on a Friday. It was supposed to be his first day, and we brought him in a couple weeks early to get him acclimated, to get him, get all his gear and equipment ready, get him on board. And the Sunday before he was supposed to report to the academy, he sent me an email saying, "Yeah, I've got orders. I can't make the academy. Sorry." So over the next couple of days of reaching out to his command staff, we finally were able to talk to him, and he kind of always aspired to a full-time position in the military. He'd gone through ROTC in the Guard, and they weren't immediately available at graduation, so he figured he had around 5 years before that would be available to him. Once he got placed in his current assignment, they offered him a full-time position. He decided to take that.
Okay.
So he basically got his spring training orders or his field training orders, and then his orders for officer school, and he essentially resigned his position with us.
Yeah, essentially, he actually did.
Well, he did. He did, and quite
He submitted
frankly,
a letter that says I resign.
quite
Super nice
frankly,
guy.
he didn't provide us, really anything before he was gone. So we haven't really discussed it, but I would not think he's actually in good standing with the way he left.
Exactly. That's why I keep going after exit interviews. So most people, if they're disgruntled or whatever, they just pick up and never say another final word, and you're lost why they left. I mean,
Well, I was able to
information.
talk to him.
That was good.
And he kind of regretted that he wasn't a little more open in the hiring process. Quite frankly, had he told us that he was pursuing a full-time position, we could have tread water with him and let him pursue that. But we went through a lot of time, effort, and money bringing him on board. We had all his uniform equipment ordered and paid for, the academy paid for, and then 3-4 days ahead of time, then he just gone.
It's a waste of time. You got to go all the way, or you just lost two
No,
months.
I mean, it's I don't really fault his decision making. I just think we could have worked with him on that process had he wanted to wait and take more time. But he's young, so I really don't have a problem with his decision making. Just the way it happened is a little abrupt.
Commissioner member have any further questions? Okay. Do I hear a move to accept and approve the subject motion summary as no, that's not the one.
It's a good motion summary.
Yeah, it is. Do I hear a move to accept the police officer certified list as submitted and approved? Do I hear a motion? Okay. So we have a move by Mr. Koss, second by Mr. Hickman. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Koss,
Aye.
Chairman Ripka.
Yes. Okay, the motion carries. No public is in attendance today. I did have a couple comments I'll just read real quickly. Just a couple months ago, Chief Donahue sent a letter to the city manager requesting approval or authority to put together a fire lieutenant promotion list. So we've got the new firehouse coming up down in Cheshire, which, Jim, I know you've seen this. It's coming along very nicely. Where is it?
It's supposed to be open early next year, I believe.
Yeah, so it's coming along really good over there. For those
Yeah.
who don't get down to the south side.
I did not.
Yeah. So it's been pretty good.
Very good.
But I think he wants to hire 3 off of the list. The current list right now only has 2, so he's going to go ahead and work that. And we've got a timeline that I believe could actually give us a certified list maybe in November. Yeah, November 7th-ish is when we could move out on that one. So I think we're all in support of that initiative right off the bat. And I think the only other thing I was going to ask about, I know it's not our jurisdiction, the commission about the collective bargaining agreements, but Local 606 has been consummated. It was signed in August, and it is good through 2021. So that's good news. That's good news.
Well, and the best news is we didn't have to go to fact finding or arbitration, which
Exactly.
is the first time since I've been here that we've been able to worked at a goal. So that's a really positive thing. And I apologize for interrupting.
No, that's good. Well, it's 6 months, but it was good collaboration between the two, and that's sometimes can be very rare. And I think that sounds pretty good. Other than that, does any commission member have any other final closing thoughts or questions?
I've got a non-civil service item.
Sure.
You've seen these flyers around, there's a comprehensive plan going on, and if you each could invite 3 people to one of those gigs, that would be, you got plenty.
Yeah,
Yep.
drop them all over.
I'll take some.
So yeah, you could grab a couple neighbors or friends and just circulate and encourage, and the more the better, more the merrier.
So I kind of left some over at the police station last night. I'm going to drop them over to the fire stations too. And I covered some stuff down in Glen Ross, that little neighborhood in our HOA. It's just a management company that put some stuff down over there. But yeah, we're trying to get into everybody's hands. So I was actually down at Morpsey's headquarters down in Columbus, and I saw the flyers down there. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, so that'd be fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. We had a steering committee meeting. We did a couple exercises that were very thoughtful and actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we're going to start those same kind of drills over there with those meetings over there. So, yeah, interested. We encourage your participation. I'll be there. I'll be at most of them, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, there being no further business to conduct, I move to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. Such a move by Mr. Ripka, second by Mr. Hicken. Any further discussions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hickman?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Koss,
Yes.
Chairman Ripka?
Aye. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.